So 1000-Year Blood War NÖDT is quickly becoming my favorite character of the entire year. He's a character I know that I and many other players have been waiting for, and while it was a bit weird to say the least that he was a mid-month character, What? I think he solidified himself thus far as one of the best characters in the main attribute in the game, to be fair, and is quite insane for a mid-month character. We tried him out in a lot of different places, and we're going to be trying him out later this week too in the upcoming Breaker quest, but right now is a great time to use him because there are no affiliation enemies in the Inheritance Trials session. Personally for me, when it comes to farming links or potions, I like using my favorite characters, and NÖDT is one of my favorite characters, so I wanted to try him out and see how he does perform in the Ultra Inheritance Trials when he finally now has Killer. And I must say, thus far, it's actually been quite good. So for today's build, we are going to be rocking these following accessories. We have the Quinty Cross, Cape Fastener, and also the Fortification Pill, giving as much SP and also focus as possible. He is 2 out of 5, so we get the guaranteed criticals, level 10 focus, level 10 SP. And then we have full stamina and long shot as bonus abilities. And then for our links, we have a mixture of full stamina, recharge, and also strong attack damage. So throughout my many runs of this particular quest, the only awkward part right now is the fact that we aren't immune to any stat elements. We have freeze immunity, which is kind of ironic, but that of course is for the no affiliation guild quest, so we got to be a tad bit careful with these burn pools. But lucky for us, with the fact that we do have the 5-hit barrier for ourselves, it's not that big of a deal. Like, we can realistically stand wherever we want to, and even if at certain points we don't have much place to move around, like, for example, standing here is a good spot, right, for this next wave. We can use our SA3 here, for example. We're able to stand in these small little sections because we have the 5-hit barriers, right? So I'm easily able to stay at full stamina unless I make a mistake and get too close to the burn pools and eventually get burned. Very rarely with NÖDT do I get hit, and that again is thanks to his multi-barrier. You know, 5-hit barrier for it myself, 3-hit barriers for my teammates. With Bargle on the team who can actually heal himself, if they are all altering, there's a decent chance we actually keep the Bargles alive, which overall does increase our clear time. And of course, we ourselves are doing quite the respectable amount of damage, especially when we do have the SP boost, which we did just get now. And if we can apply the status on the boss, we actually do a lot of damage against the bosses themselves. I think at points, if we get lucky enough and actually inflict the status element, which is weakening and also slow, which in that case we do like 120% more damage, we actually almost one-shot with just one strong attack, which is kind of insane. And I'm not gonna lie, the more I play with this character, the more impressed I get. He's not a character you think would be this good, right? SA2 doesn't inflict any status elements. His SA3, without the Havoc, isn't even a full screen. But in gameplay, it really doesn't matter that much. And then mainly comes down to his strong attack damage. He does have a really high strong attack damage. Frenzy +2, SP boost. We can use our Solemn here. This should go through to the final boss, and then we can just finish up with one strong attack. Take down both of the bosses. The SA2, while it can't inflict any status elements, unfortunately, it is still good for the team protection. That goes to myself. We want to be at full stamina since we are using links and also bonus abilities, but at the same time, he also does get that extra bit of recharge when at full stamina. And in that case, that run, 2-minute clear time. Honestly, quite respectable. We can get faster. I've been doing a lot of runs all day. I think the lowest I've seen is around 1 minute and 30 seconds. But I guess that also depends on the teammates when they are autoing. Again, NÖDT is trying to keep them alive with the barriers. But honestly, not too bad. And with that, of course, since I am carrying other super links or farmers, we get the guaranteed potions, a good amount of super links or potions, and at the same time, most importantly, I'm having fun while doing it, right? And that's something I encourage you guys to do more often than not. You know, sure, it's nice to pull for these super links or farmers and play with the super links or farmers. That does give you the maximum amount of value. But if you're not trying to links for every character in your box, like I'm doing, you don't always have to use said links or characters. You can host your own lobbies and try out different characters. That's what I've been doing, and NÖDT has been a quite good character thus far. 2-minute clear time. Let's see if we can actually get faster. Now, I have noticed in this particular quest, there are actually hidden enemies, so I guess for this run, let's go with this. Maybe this increases our potential clear time, and there's definitely other ways I could go about it, right? I could take up the long stride for the hidden enemies, so at that point, I get to hit the hidden enemies, but at the same time, keep the 20% Berserker. But again, it's more of a personal preference. I just like playing with characters with long stride. But I guess in his case, it doesn't matter too much because I do have the multi-barrier. Long stride is usually extra mobility, but also safety, but the multi-barriers do have us covered, so maybe I will eventually change the long stride to hidden enemies. Alrighty, so let's try that once more. This time, let's see if we can actually keep our teammates alive. Mainly the Balgos, right? Because they actually can heal themselves. Neliel is kind of a lost cause, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, actually, she can heal herself. No, they can't actually, never mind. I forgot, this IT in particular actually does have drain immunity, so no one can actually heal themselves. Which is also one of the main reasons why I'm using NÖDT over someone like 8th Anniversary White, who I do have max transcended. Not only do I prefer NÖDT as a character, but 8th Anniversary White is somewhat nerfed in this quest, although it probably doesn't matter in the larger scheme of things, since you know how good White actually is as a character, right? But even if a character is good, I don't like taking damage, I don't like taking hits, I don't like dying. I say as I get hit. It's great. The barrier wore off somehow. Unfortunately, I cannot get back up to full stamina. If we had the hidden Aaroniero in our team, we could have gotten back up to full stam. And you can see, unfortunately, we are one HP away. If we had a hidden Aaroniero in our lobby, that would have been great because he does actually have a team heal. Let's go back here. It's fine, though. We lost a lot of DPS, but we're still going to clear relatively fast. I think the hidden enemies here actually are helping a tad bit. Let's go down here, use our SA1. Does hit a good amount of the enemies. And I will say his SA1 has actually been surprisingly really good. I do like the attack. It's very rare. Is it rare for us to get characters with that strong attack 1? I'm not actually too sure. I can't remember the last character to have it, but I really like it on Esno. I think maybe I prefer this attack over a normal beam because it does do a lot of damage. And we did see, at least in Guild Quest, it was one of his main attacks that was able to make him solo GQ by himself at just 1 out of 5. Especially with the way the character is designed, he wants to inflict stat ailments. It does have quite a few hits to it too. But if it can push back the enemies, it hits a lot, and therefore it does more damage. And if you inflict the stat ailment, again, the weakening allows you to do 50% more damage, but then you're doing 40% more on top of that because you have the skill, and an additional 40%. So insane damage numbers with Esno on that SA1. In that case, for the most part, it looks like we are getting a consistent 2-minute clear time, which is still actually pretty good. Although we did take a hit there, so our damage output was a tad bit lower. So let's see if we can get us up 2 minutes. Alrighty then, so attempt number 3, let's see how this does go. Ideally, what you're going to do is inflict the stat ailment on the SA1. And usually with a character like this, you want to kind of save your SA2 and 3 for when you inflict the stat ailment, if possible, right? So in this case, we go here, use our SA3. Got the SP boost. We're going to use our SA1 to push all them back. Does take out most of them. And I really do believe, which we kind of showcased in our first initial showcase, is that we probably would keep our entire team alive if they can also inflict drain, but unfortunately get it immune right now. And at the same time, we also did just get once more burn. So there's definitely a few ways you can go about this. Maybe I should give this character burn immunity. But 2 is, that's just me messing up right now. I was farming for like an hour before actually recording these runs, and I barely got burned, so I'm not sure how I'm messing up right now. But let's go here, use our SA1 into the 3. Good amount of damage right there. Unfortunately, all our teammates are dead right now. This is like worst case scenario. They're all dead. I've taken damage. This might be our slowest run to date. It's fine though. Let's use our SA3 there. Finish up with the 1. Bosses have spawned in. Let's go here, use our SA3. Actually inflicted slow. Take down Kukaku in just 2 strong attacks. You'll have to see it. I'm already into the final boss now where we have to use like maybe 1 or 2 strong attacks. There we go. Going into the final boss with the SP boost. Let's just get them weak enough. This one does hit quite hard, to be fair, as you can see there. And we can just finish up with our Nat string. I want to do one more run, though. That was probably our worst run to date. And again, that just comes down to me getting burned. So giving this character immunity might be something you want to do. But 2 minutes 16 play time isn't all too bad, to be fair. Especially with the amount of pots that we are getting. Let's try that once more, though, and see if we can get our potential sub 2 minute clear time. Okay, so somehow everyone just DC'd. I have no idea that happens. But I guess let's actually turn this into a single player run, right? Let's see how fast we can actually clear it with just ourselves. Let's go here, use our SA1. That takes out all of those, lads. That's not too bad. Gonna use my SA1 here into the 3 and then aim that SA1 to take down them. Pretty good run thus far. Definitely do have to do a bit aiming with his SA1, but if you position it correctly, you do benefit with it. In this case, let's use our SA3. We're gonna use our SA3 once more. Inflicted the SP boost, that's not bad. And then aim up, there we go. Second round was on the slower end, but as long as we keep our full stamina, we should be fine. Especially when the bosses do come up, which they are about to do so. So let's use our SA1 back and then SA3. Got the SP boost, and now we can actually use our SA2 into the 1. Once more, use the SA1. No inflicting stat ailments on the bosses, unfortunately. Definitely could have used less strong attacks there. But one thing about this character that, again, I do like is definitely the barriers. It's an underappreciated thing about this character. Because there are times where like, I'm using even a better character that can clear faster, but like it's a more of a struggle with how you have to position yourself. Let's actually go ahead and use that SA3. Look at that, beautiful. 2 strong attacks was enough to take down them 2, to take down the 2 bosses. But yeah, overall, there's some characters out there that are better, but somehow it's more of a struggle to actually use them, if that kind of makes sense. Let's use our Soul Bomb. Even though Esno might not be clearing like the fastest ever possible, we're not really struggling. We might have to use more strong attacks, but we're definitely not struggling. Here we go though, for a solo run, 2 out of 5 with Killer. 1 minute 59 seconds, so kind of again in line with our, other runs where we are playing with other people. Somehow we ended up getting slow, but again, I didn't think I had the best gameplay there. Getting burnt kind of ruined our damage a bit. But we did get our sub 2 minute. At the very least, we did get that. But yeah, with that said, lads, that was the video for today. Just trying out Esno once more in the ultra difficult Inheritance Trials quest. I've been having a lot of fun with this character, and that's something that you usually can do in IT whenever someone does finally get Killer. Since there are no affiliation enemies, it's a great time to take out your no affiliation killers to farm some super links or potions, whether they are or not a super links or farmer themselves. Again, later this week, we are going to try the character once more, in this time Limit Breaker, because he is the perfect character for slot number 2. So I'm kind of curious to see how he is going to perform in Limit Breaker, despite him not being a traditional limit breaker character, but his damage output's high, so I'm sure he's going to be perfectly fine in that particular quest. Either way, hope you liked this video. See you guys next time. Take care, and peace.